What up, guys? It's your girl T here to talk to you about Inherent Vice, the upcoming P.T. Anderson flick. I saw it and I have some things to say. So I saw Inherent Vice. I was super amped to see it because it looked like a wild, crazy film noir, very Lebowski-esque in the best way, and I was super pumped to see it. The problem was I think I came in a little bit too excited. A little too high. This isn't a bad movie by any stretch, or maybe by some people's stretches, it is a bad movie, but it's not a bad movie to me. It just didn't quite do it for me. So the movie centers on Joaquin Phoenix, who plays a PI named Doc, and his ex-girlfriend, his ex-special lady friend, whatever you'd like to call her, comes to him in need of help. He's this stoner drifter type. He's referred to as a hippie and a dirty hippie about 30 million times in the movie. And she comes to him needing help because her current boyfriend, to whom she's a mistress, is this really wealthy guy, and his wife is plotting to put him in the loony bin so that she can take all of his money. So the ex-girlfriend comes to Doc and she's like, I need your help, like this is a messed up thing, what can we do? Shortly after that, she vanishes, and Doc is left on this trail trying to figure out what's going on, what happened to his ex-girlfriend, where's this rich guy, because he's gone missing too, and it's just this sort of falling into all sorts of crazy situations and coming across a lot of different really weird characters. It's of course based on the book by Thomas Pynchon, which I have not read because, as you guys know, I don't know how to read. Ultimately, the movie is very meandering and strange and dreamlike, and you sort of aren't necessarily aware of what's real or what's a hallucination, or if maybe it's a little bit of both, mainly because, as I said before, there's drugs involved. Joaquin Phoenix is kind of a weird guy. He's a very sweet guy. I think he does a great job in the role. In the end, I feel like the movie didn't really have much point. I didn't feel that the end was super satisfying or anything. It was just sort of like, well, all right, well, the movie's over now after 2.5 hours, which by the way is too long. The cast has a lot of really fun people in it. Martin Short is in there, which I didn't even know beforehand, and he's really funny. Small role, but a very big one in how he plays it. It's also got Owen Wilson, Josh Brolin, Reese Witherspoon, and Omar, Michael Kenneth Williams from The Wire, is in it. You guys know I love him. So yeah, there's a lot of this sort of journey of going along with Doc and sort of putting himself in places and situations where he's able to get more information as a PI, but at the same time, even though he's actively putting himself in these places, it also doesn't feel super active that he's actually doing anything. Like, I don't know if it's just that because he's this sort of passive guy and just sort of places himself in these environments, that it makes it feel like everything is happenstance instead of actually him as the protagonist progressing the plot of the story. Now, as far as how that compares with the book, I can't really say, but maybe that's the tone of the book. Like, maybe that's actually a very faithful adaptation. P.T. Anderson movies are always in the discussion for awards come award season, which is now, and I'm sure this will be in some people's discussion as, you know, best adaptation screenplay, possible best director, but ultimately I just didn't find the movie very satisfying. I've been sitting with it for a little while and I can't quite put my finger on it. In the end, I have to say it's a movie that's worth seeing, but it didn't quite live up to my hopes and expectations. That's it for today. Let me know if you guys are going to see Inherent Vice, or if maybe somehow you've snuck in and you've seen it already, what you thought, and be sure to subscribe to CineFix because it's polite.